Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. On tonight's episode, we are going to be looking at an article from the Washingtonian.com, and the headline is You Can Now Live Stream a Ghost Tour of DC. It was written by Mimi Montgomery, and it was published on September 24th, 2020. And the little subheadline here is Oh Yeah, and you can also purchase a haunted doll named Lily to come live in your house. And apparently that must be Lily. Now, I would be willing to almost guarantee that Lily is not actually a haunted doll. It's just a creepy ass doll that they're calling a haunted doll. Because in all reality, how many haunted dolls could there really be? If you can just buy this to take home with you, then obviously it's not a really haunted doll, because how would they have a whole bunch of them for anybody that wants to buy them? But it is creepy as hell looking, and it will probably scare your children. There have been many stories about how the thing has affected the tourism, food, beverage, and fitness industries, but there's one especially eerie field that has been overlooked. Obviously, we are talking about the ghost tour sector. Just like exercise classes and work meetings and dinners, the spooky productions have been forced to go virtual. This Halloween season, thanks to Ghost Flicks, you can hang at home and live stream a paranormal tour of DC. The venture was created by Lance Zoll, the entrepreneur behind the ghost tour group DC Ghosts, which he started in 2015. The Richmond resident now runs the national group U.S. Ghost Adventures, which manages tours in several cities. And apparently, this is a map of all the places that you hit on the ghost tour. And there's like 23 pages of this. When the thing hit, the group stopped giving in person tours. Luckily, they had already developed an app that lets folks do self guided ghost tours. Still, they took a big financial hit. Two of the best performing cities are New York and DC, says Zoll. And now those cities are down about 95% over the last year. So Zoll started mulling. How does one best deliver a ghost tour during a thing? I wanted to make sure that whatever we did in response to the thing wasn't going to be a temporary option, he says. I wanted it to be a permanent and long term part of our offering. How does it actually work? A Ghost Flicks guide will walk viewers through the same tour they'd take in real life, which in DC circles the White House, where Dolly Madison's ghost supposedly roams Lafayette Square. The upside, you don't have to walk amongst a group of masked strangers, and you can lounge on your couch eating mini Butterfingers. I'm all for that. I love those little, especially like the Butterfinger crisps. Them damn things are so good. Customers can also watch a series of pre recorded tours from various cities if they can't make the DC live stream, which is happening October 30th at 7 p.m. Pre recorded tours are $13 a person, while the live one is $15 a pop. If you're really committed to experiencing the supernatural in person, the group has resumed $5 guided tours with social distancing protocols in place. $5 for a guided tour. How do they make any money? That is so cheap. Also, new this year from Zoll's Ghost Squad, an Alexa and Google Home compatible app that will tell you ghost stories at request. And Lily, an absolutely terrifying replica of a haunted doll that Zoll calls a spooky version of Elf on the Shelf. because 2020 wasn't scary enough. And that is the end of this article. So I think that this is actually a really cool idea. And not just because of the thing, right? Not just because of what's been going on. I'll leave it here on Lily, this creepy ass looking doll for you. Not just because of everything that's going on this year, but I think this is a great idea overall because there's a lot of people that are into the paranormal. They like horror movies, they like ghost stuff, they like all this stuff. But either they can't afford to travel to all these different cities and take these tours, or they just don't want to travel to all these cities and take these tours, or they just don't like people. There are a lot of people like that too that just don't like crowds. They don't like being with a bunch of people. It kind of annoys them. I get like that sometimes because I live up here in the mountains, man. I'm up here all by myself. Well, not really. My old lady's with me, but other than me and my old lady and my family and stuff, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of people around me all the time. And I'm an old mountain man, so when I got to go into town, especially if I have to go someplace like a mall or like a big hospital, or if I have to go give a speech or something like that, and you have to meet a bunch of people and talk to a bunch of people, it's kind of stressful because I'm used to being by myself a whole lot. And when I have to be around a whole lot of people, it takes a little getting used to. Let's put it that way. I don't dislike it because I meet a lot of really interesting and really cool people. And I really enjoy talking to a lot of those people. But getting the gumption up to actually leave my house and go to do the thing, whatever that thing is, that's where the trouble is. So you have a lot of people like that too that just simply don't like being around other people. And then of course you have the incredibly lazy that just don't want to get off the couch for any reason. This would be great for them too. So whatever reason you don't want to go in person to one of these things, it's kind of cool that you could live stream it. Now, I'll be honest with you, the majority of times when you go on one of these things, it's boring. It's not very fun at all. You almost never actually see anything. So all you're doing is you're walking a lot, and it's usually cold because it's near Halloween time when most of these are done. So you're walking in the cold with a bunch of strangers, and you're listening to some tour guide who thinks they're funny, but they're not. They make like a lot of stupid jokes that aren't funny at all, and they're just corny and dumb. And you're listening to the history of the place, which that part is interesting. I love hearing the history of the places. That part is awesome. But the rest of it just sucks. So the majority of these things are no fun at all to go on. So at least you won't have to be cold and tired walking around. You can just watch it and hear the history and see the place for yourself. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this idea of doing live streaming of ghost tours. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think this Zoll dude is onto something. I think this is a very, very good idea. And I think that long term, they will do much better doing the live streaming and the virtual ghost tours than they would doing the in person ones. Another interesting thing would be if somehow you could set it up so that you could do a virtual tour of a haunted location, but without the tour guide and the people in the way, to where you could literally control the camera and look around the entire place and see whatever you wanted to see. That'd be super cool. I don't know how that would work technologically, but it would be a really cool idea. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you for joining me, and I will catch you on the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye bye.